Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, July 5th. My name is Alan, and I want to welcome you to my Spiritual Growth Through Recovery podcast. The purpose of these videos is to grow my spirituality by following the AA program of recovery, and I try to do that by being as honest, vulnerable, and accountable as I can be, which is why I make these videos, all right? I'm no expert in AA or spirituality or recovery. I'm just trying to live life on life's terms and do it sober. The recipe we follow here is we read the daily reading out of the Daily Reflections book. There is a link in the description if you would like to follow along. I will share my take on the reading, and sometimes I'll share on some other topics. So here we go. All right, let's get busy. Hope you had a good holiday weekend. I had to work. That's okay. Acceptance, right, is the answer to all my problems. So the topic today is going to be for July 5th is a new direction. A new direction. Our human resources, as marshaled by the will, were not sufficient. They failed utterly. Every day is a day when we must carry the vision of God's will into all our activities. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 45 and 85. We hear talk of the weak-willed alcoholic, but I am one of the strongest-willed people on earth. I know now that my incredible strength of will is not enough to save my life. My problem is not one of weakness, but rather of direction. When I, without falsely diminishing myself, accept my honest limitations and turn to God's guidance, my worst faults become my greatest assets. My strong will, rightly directed, keeps me working until the promises of the program become a daily reality. All right. So we talked about our human resources. Our will was not sufficient. It failed utterly, completely. What evidence can we find that outlines that, us alone was not enough, right? Tons of evidence. Relapse after relapse, and misery and depression and frustration, and but I do believe that I do believe that we like it just enough to think that we can do it all the time. So I guess I believe I can pull off my self-will just enough to think I can do it all the time, and that's what makes me think I can do it more often, because I just do it well enough. I don't know, maybe that's the whole point behind it. He lets you go all the way. Because if it failed every single time, I probably wouldn't try. All right, so I talked about every day is a day we must carry the vision of God's will. What are our objectives upon awakening? I know lately my objectives upon awakening are getting what Alan wants. How's that working? Not that great. So it's a good thing to think about. What are my objectives for today? All right, you talk about the weak-willed alcoholic, but one of the strongest-willed people on earth. I can kind of relate to that because I've endured an insane amount of emotional pain and physical pain due to my using and an unwillingness to surrender. Incredible strength is not enough to save my life. I became beaten like a dog over and over again. It really is. All right. So then Todd talks about how our worst faults became our greatest assets. I had to think about that one a little bit. I believe our awareness and acceptance can lead us to surrender the things that and choose the opposite option, surrender instead of control it. And I think the pains caused by the faults lead us to giving those up, right? If our defects weren't painful enough, maybe we wouldn't give them up. But also that these weaknesses the faults becoming the greatest assets. They can help keep us grounded, humble, open, and accepting. They remind us of our worth regardless of our faults. They connect us to others who have those faults as well, so we're not alone. They can be a resource to use to help others, so I can share my struggles with that, so my weakness can be a strength in helping somebody else. And they give us insight into our temptations to escape and point us in the direction of our purpose. They can show us our purpose. So I can see where those can be our strengths, and not always judging those things as bad things. And then finally, it talks about how my strong will, rightly directed, keeps me working until the promises of the program become a daily reality. What's rightly directed? Not my way, God's way in service of others. So that's kind of what I took from that, and it's a good reminder as I start my day. Where are my objectives today? What are my intentions? Am I always looking just to get mine? And if I do that, how's that going to work out for me, right? So anyway, that's all I got for today. I hope you got something from the reading. So I encourage you to, just take a look at this whole will thing and where you're trying to, push your objectives into the world, and how's that working for you? And what are your objectives for the day? What are you trying to get out of the day or put into the day? what we put in, what we reap, what we sow, right? So anyway, yeah, so I'll be back tomorrow for another video. So until then, peace out.